The time is 10:50 a.m., October 23rd, 2024. I'm at liberty to say that while I've been held against my will, a hostage by the U.S. Armed Forces, the Pentagon, these creeps who are attacking civilians like myself in the United States and who are attacking the U.S. sovereign territory within the U.S. Armed Forces, such as the Pentagon chief, they'll title them DOD, all this fraudulent, it's just historic is what it is. Warfare propaganda for the newspaper articles to continue to cover up what they're actually trying to do. The United States Armed Forces is with 100% holding hands with, in bed with the country of Iran, Vladimir Putin and his Iranian Russian military, and like 60 something percent of the Russian Federation. They're in bed with, they're with them. All right? The U.S. politicians and U.S. military are with Iran and Russia. Are we clear? They're not fighting them. They're assisting them in attacking my country. The U.S. Armed Services is attacking with weapons my country. All right, great. We have that clear. The press covers everything up. It's part of warfare propaganda. It's an offense that could be punished in tribunals, war tribunals, military tribunals. Okay, you can't assist a foreign enemy and your own government and military in attacking their own country and their own people. You can't assist if you're in the press, in the news business. You can't help them do that. You'll be arrested and sent into military tribunals. Are we clear yet? Okay, so that's what they're doing, all right? What I'm supposed to say is kind of here nor there in comparison to how serious of offenses, capital treason charges, like it's literal, that the military officials and the U.S. government officials are being charged with. But I witnessed over half my population in the United States follow along with it. They knew there was terrorism here. You're not so stupid you don't realize it after multiple years. The headlines are really fraudulent. They're outright fake. The one that came up the other day about the journalist, once again, a newspaper person, is this female who lives, guess where? New York City, where they're all harbored. They operate out of New York City, so she's from New York City. Okay, they put her in the newspaper again, and they're filing fake charges against Iranians. The whole legal procedures that they're charging, and the victim, and the article with the police protection that she has is 100% fraud. None of it is even true. And they published it, took a picture. They used the picture of her from CNN. So they are reprinting pictures of this newspaper person that's a woman from the screen of when she was on TV. Do you get it? None of it's legitimate. It's, oh, no, everyone knows this. So after long enough, people are like, whoa, There's no actual photos of her. Okay, so no, you only can really find her when she's on TV. See, they just regenerate her. So now they're putting pictures of her on TV onto the news. It was completely fake. It was 100% the Iranian government that did it. And it's a real indicator that we're about to go into hot war within the sovereign territory of the United States within any day, any minute is going to start. I can testify to where I am that the Pentagon and U.S. Armed Forces are definitely there. They're aware of it. At any minute, they're ready to have all their boots on the ground. But these men and demented, deranged women that they have in the U.S. Armed Forces are out to do one thing and one thing only. No, I'm not making this up. Is to kill all Chinese and to use biological weapons and chemical weapons on their own civilians here. They will be assisting the police, law enforcement, and just grabbing people and killing them. It's genocide by the definition, not what the United Nations kept saying about anyone and everyone who kept fighting Arabic Muslim terrorists. Anyone and everybody in the last 5 years who tried to fight Arabic Muslim terrorists was accused of genocide in the press and at the UN, and now it's so out of control. All you read about is how everybody's committing genocide, and the victims are all hijab-wearing, devil-worshipping Muslim terrorists. They're the victims. Just go look, read the headlines. So I know that the Americans, after long enough, multiple years of these just 100% fraud news stories, and the mass shootings, the violence, the everything, just name it. Take every event and situation and climate of our society, and you can tell, if you live here, you can tell where you're living, what's going on. Okay, comprende? So the Americans, like over half of them, followed along with these military U.S. armed servicemen and U.S. politicians. They follow along, they turn away, they turn the other cheek. It's exact copy. I mean, I'm talking copycat of what happened in World War II with when they started ethnically cleansing Jewish people, shaving the Jewish people's heads, rounding them up and gassing them in death camps. The Germans followed along, turned the other way and said they didn't know, they weren't aware, to the point where no one's that fucking stupid. And the German news media kept making up these warfare propaganda stories, exact copy of what's happening now. Like the one when they invaded Poland and started killing all the Polish people, the nice white Polish people were being killed, along with all the Jews. Anybody who stood in the way of the SS, the white supremacists, they were the master race. This is why what's happening in the United States is happening now, and that's why Hitler did what he did. He was the master race, the white people, and they were going to kill anyone else and take over governments and establish socialism. So they started 2 different world wars coming out of Europe, and it has to be put down. But what I'm saying is I've watched the U.S. do a copycat of exactly what happened to Russia. So the U.S. population has turned the other cheek. And I read these papers in the news. I read about how the U.S. women are getting these luxurious, exclusive scalp, SCALP, scalp treatments. It's like this real nice thing you do for a spa. You get a scalp treatment. They're getting these exclusive massages, hair massages for shampoo. I read about how the American women they're debating what's best for your cuticles and your fingernails. Is it gel nail? Is it dip now. The vanity and the pursuit of vanity and the absolute absent-minded look the other way of what the U.S. is doing. There's a fucking terrorist cell with bodies stinking up the sidewalk, or it's stunk up the sidewalk multiple times, but I can't talk about it. Bodies stinking up houses. It's in the Capitol by their president's freaking office. There's a reason why I am so close to Joe Biden. And Donald Trump set this up. The last 2 years or a year, whatever it was, of Donald's presidency, he set up this terrorist cell. And all the same people are going to go reelect themselves and go right back down the street. I'm 6 blocks from these people. This is their terrorist compound. And the Americans know it. And they just keep looking at how they can get an expensive scalp massage, a real nice shampoo, do their nails. They absolutely do not care. I'm telling you, I'm supposed to say it. God told me, heed this warning. The women here will just be doing their nails and hair while the U.S. military is wiping out millions in other countries for white supremacy. White is the master race. And they have their Muslim terrorists who are big pull in that. The Muslim terrorists are like, it's common layman's terms to explain it like this, but it's far more complicated, but not too hard if I could explain it in its antithesis, but I really can't. I'm up to minute 12. So I'll just do a second grader explanation. Iran, the Muslim terrorists that look like devil worshippers, that wear black hijabs, black things over their face, black everything, okay? They eat spaghetti like that. They look like fucking retards. They need to pass laws to outlaw that shit. You want to eat spaghetti, take the shit off your face. You want to go to high school, take that shit off your head. End of story. Your religious fanaticism will be stomped down, along with your white Christians. Stomped down. No more Christian and Muslim terrorists. It will be stomped down. But what I'm supposed to say is their Arabic military coming out of Lebanon, coming out of the King of Jordan, coming out of Saudi Arabia, coming out of the Middle East is a big help for this High Hitler. White is the master race crap that my country is doing, okay? So take their little Christian terrorists and go them into the same places with the military strikes as their little Muslim terrorists, okay? Adios.